This is Drop Tent Media Network.
Hey, welcome to the Weekday Comics. I'm Dave Primiano.
And I'm Dan D'Aprile, and we're here to shoot the shit and talk the news.
Welcome back.
Wow, another week.
Yes, we've made it.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're coming in more clearly than last week. I'll explain if you were watching last week. Neil has 3 computers back there, and 2 of them were streaming porn. So it kind of slowed everything down, and it came in a little blurry. But no, we put Neil on a no porn diet today.
Yep, and because we can't have a day where everything works right, we're down a camera. So here.
I was hoping they didn't notice.
They didn't notice that suddenly it's you. It's normal tight shot on you. Huge room containing me and our lovely guest. Would you like to introduce him?
Sure. He's the host of the Ed McGonigal podcast. He is I should have ended with that part now that I think of it. But yeah, he's a legend. He's a Philly legend of not only the comedy stage, but the radio airwaves as well. If you remember the Kid Chris show back in the day, he was a frequent on that.
Yes, that's true.
Which is why he's the first when I went to my first Helium open mic and I heard he was there, I was like, holy shit. There's going to be so much glitz and glamour at the Philly comedy scene because I recognized one of the comics at my first open mic. Boy, did I know. Ed McGonigal's here.
I am here. Thanks for mentioning that radio show that was canceled 16 years ago. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Listen, I'm breaking a strict rule tonight. I normally have a strict no Kensington rule. So I grew up in Mayfair, so Kensington is like kryptonite. So I'll be happy if my car's still here after we did the podcast.
You would not be the first.
I heard that.
I told them the entire. I said, right. Was your car locked? They're going to check your handle. They are, but they move on from that. They don't.
Right. Well, at least they're polite. If you're locked, they keep moving. That's
right.
That's all. I like the polite car thieves.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite.
That's the only reason we keep track of how many episodes. That's why we number the episodes, just so I have a counter in my head of how many times someone's tested my car door.
Wow.
Yes, we can use our episodes as like a police study. Like, how many times can you park your car in Kensington before it gets broken into?
What a city. Holy mackerel.
All right. Well, so you do a podcast where you talk about what's going on in the world.
Yo, yeah. My podcast is like Meet the Press for stupid people. It's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. I hope this is a little more highbrow, but I'm guessing not.
Oh no,
but I'm guessing not. No.
Yeah, I don't think there's a brow low enough.
Especially because
low and brow. There you go.
But Dave was a guest on your podcast. It hasn't aired yet, so we're gonna. I thought you said it had aired yet.
No, it's aired.
I mean, by the viewership compared to the other episodes, it hasn't really.
No, it was a funny episode. It was Dave and Steve Reeves. It was a funny episode.
Another podcasting legend.
Yeah, Steve Reeves, Philadelphia legend.
All right, so I picked. We're gonna try something new. I jotted down 5 potential topics to talk about, and I'll let our guest pick which one we go first, if we even get to the other ones, because we go so off script sometimes.
Yeah,
sometimes who knows.
Sure. So dealer's choice here.
All right. So topic number 1, the new internet sensation, the Hawk Tuah girl, and how long her fame's gonna last.
Daddy's little girl.
Yeah. The Matt Stafford's wife doing an interview where she said she banged his backup quarterback to make him do better.
Unbelievable.
Louisiana. The great state of Louisiana has made it mandatory for every elementary school to hang the 10 Commandments up inside each classroom.
Oh, boy.
Dave Grohl suffering the wrath of the Swifties.
Mm-hmm.
Or the newest buddy comedy, Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un, just having a week together.
They are. It was been
and
beautiful.
You want me to pick?
Yeah.
Well, let's go with it, because I love Dave Grohl, and he's right. Taylor Swift stinks. She is terrible. It's about time somebody came out and took it instead of all his ass kissing. Oh, she's so great. Well, he said about she doesn't perform live, right? Well, she doesn't. She lip syncs. That's ridiculous. I remember it's like, this has got to be 25 years ago. Elton John said anybody who lip syncs in concert should be machine gunned. and he's right. I mean, it might be a little exaggerated.
Okay, I wanted to
be a little extreme, but I get his point. That's ridiculous. You're paying that kind of money and somebody's lip syncing. That's a disgrace.
Yeah, well, you pay the money to see her shake that Or okay,
Well,
no, there's
whatever.
not much there.
Yeah. You might see Travis Kelce.
I,
He might show up as a backup dancer.
Actually, her ass is more disappointing than her vocal talents. Now, if you think about it. But I mean, I'm glad he said that because I love Dave Grohl and I love the Foo Fighters. And fuck these Swifties. These people, it's a cult with bad taste.
Yeah.
I don't mind a cult, but when you're a cult with bad taste,
Yeah.
that's the worst kind of cult.
Unless it's something in the Kool-Aid. Does that
no,
at least taste good?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
These people, we can't even hope they won't even drink Kool-Aid. If they drank Kool-Aid, we'd be lucky. We'd be rid of them. They're going to be here. It's going to be forever with this Swift.
Yeah, Taylor Swift isn't going anywhere.
To me, there's no difference from her and Debbie Gibson back in the 80s. I mean, there's literally no difference.
What's Debbie Gibson's biggest hit?
Oh, I can't even remember. She was big for a while. Her and Tiffany were big around the same time.
Tiffany, I know the
remember
one
Tiffany.
song. The Tiffany does I Think We're Alone now, right?
Yeah, the cover of Tommy James and the Shondells. Yeah. What the hell was Debbie Gibson? I can't even remember. Her music was so vapid. I can't remember the song. But to me, there's no difference between Taylor
I don't know
Swift
any
and
of
Tiffany.
these, or I mean, I can't think of any
I
of these.
probably
actual
heard them, but I don't
songs.
recognize any of them by name. Electric Youth, Loot in Your Eyes.
Lost in Your Eyes.
I guess it's time for another another inch on the old lenses.
Yeah.
Loot in Your Eyes sounds
I
pretty cool.
actually don't remember any of her songs, but to me, there's no difference between Debbie Gibson, Britney Spears, Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez. It's all the same. Why is she a star? Why are they not the big star? Why is she the big star? I don't understand that. It's all the same. All the same.
They're
crap.
all pretty. Selena, yeah. So I don't know. Selena's prettier.
Yeah,
And
she is.
She's a decent actress.
She's really good in that Only Murders in the Building. I was shocked how good she was.
Yeah.
Because I expected her to be like dragging the show down. No, she's pretty good.
I do wonder how that pairing ever came. Like, who approached who? Did Selena just because she's like? Does she like appreciate legends in the comedy field, or do they
Well,
like?
Steve
Hey,
Martin created the show, so he must have been looking for a young woman to play that part, and somebody had to tell him. Because he probably didn't know who she was. So maybe Lorne Michaels is his buddy that Saturday Night Live. He might have told him.
that's a fair
somebody
point.
like that.
That might have happened
because he didn't know who she was.
Yeah,
Okay,
the gap between the two. I mean, like she might know who they were, but I doubt she was like Selena Gomez's biggest inspiration is Martin Short. Like I doubt it.
No, probably not. But it works. I only saw the first season. I thought it was great, but I thought it was a great show.
It's got to end soon, but it's been entertaining.
Well, it's going to end soon, whether or not they want it to.
Yeah, well, Steve Martin and Martin Short are going to drop dead.
Yeah.
But,
only natural deaths on set.
Aside from that one Western recently.
Oh yeah, right.
Well, that wasn't really a natural death.
That was
it?
more
well, no, that
negligence.
definitely wasn't a natural death.
I mean, if you shoot someone, they're naturally going to
Alec
die.
Baldwin shot the girl, and then he looked at the other cinematographer and said, "You know what second place gets? Set of steak knives." So what are you going to do?
My biggest issue was they kept calling it a prop gun. I'm sorry, but if you shoot someone with it and it kills
if
them,
somebody's dead, there's nothing pops about it. I can guarantee the legendary Witt never killed anybody. He's bored quite a few almost to death, but he's never killed anybody. I can promise you that.
but yeah, what was great, like, because I'm on Twitter a lot. That's where I get my news. So watching all the Swifties go after Dave Grohl, like, who even is he?
Yeah,
is
they
one
don't
of the
even
most
know.
egregious things.
Of course, they don't know anybody outside of her. Who else would they even know? They don't know Foo Fighters or Nirvana.
Yeah, it's such a different style of music. I doubt they would have any exposure to it.
You guys
Like,
ever seen the Foo Fighters in concert?
No, I'd like to.
I've seen them
saw
like
I
4
saw
times.
them twice, and they were fantastic. They were great. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm not even like the biggest but I don't think they're the best rock band out there. But they're consistently. I feel like they're the biggest rock band, so they're all like that's keeping the genre on life support at this moment.
And Green Day sort, and didn't Pearl Jam just put a new album out? It's supposed to be good. I haven't heard it.
I've never heard of a Pearl Jam album being good before.
Really? I loved them in the 90s. I saw them too.
I'm Soundgarden, Nirvana, Alice in Chains, all aces, but I hate Pearl Jam.
So you were
okay.
already opposed to Pearl Jam, like with that constellation of bands.
And yeah, Green Day I listened to in the 90s, but in the 90s all their songs were about sitting around getting high and jerking off.
Yeah.
And then they 180'd into politics, and
You didn't like American Idiot, that album?
I didn't, only because I thought I liked them in the Dookie days.
Yeah,
and I thought that was like the beginning of the end even then. I was right. But I will say that like Metallica's album, I forget what album that is.
Black Album?
No, it was the one after the Black Album. I think
Load?
Yeah, Load. Load was the first one where you could hear it was like, this isn't the same, but it's still good. I feel like that's like American Idiot.
Yeah, I never got into Metallica. Never did anything for me. But.
Oh,
I mean, were you into Metallica? Were you?
I am. I know, because one of my complaints about Pearl Jam is that he ends every lyric with "yeah," and Metallica also does the same thing. But I don't hate them as much for it because Metallica's never been about like Pearl Jam's mostly about his voice. His voice is what dominates. Metallica's the riffs,
music. Yeah,
yeah. So the lead singer can all he wants. It amuses me.
I'll admit, I faded out of music over the last 20 years, sadly, which I'm not proud of that. But
I think music faded out of music.
Well, that's a YouTube. I mean, there's a lot of great music
there
out
probably
there.
is. I admit being old and fading.
You have to look for it now, and I just don't have the energy.
Yeah,
right, because nobody's successful anymore. So like the Foo Fighters, everyone
I
knows
the old days with a CD. You can actually put it on. This whole thing where you got to go, like you said, looking for it. I'm much too lazy for that. I can't go looking for it.
We definitely lost something with like the ability to have a song that everyone's heard. Like when there was stuff on the radio, like even if you only kind of like the song, you heard it a lot enough to maybe if somebody loved it, you'd be like, yeah, it's all right or whatever. Now, people be like, oh, I just heard this new song that's great. Well, then they have to play it for you because there's no way you heard it. They heard it on Spotify or SoundCloud or YouTube.
Yeah, I don't. I still have a BB. I'm behind. When I turn my radio on in my kitchen, we still get Jack Benny and Fibber McGee and Molly. So I'm out of it.
No, I still rock the radio. The CD player broke.
I'll still listen. I'm so old. I'll listen to WXBN. That's how old I am.
Okay. Yeah.
Is there a station that actually plays like newer rock music? Does MMR sometimes play?
They play rock, but they don't play like it's becoming more of a classic rock station. Like it's newer than the WMGK stuff, but it's still stuff that gets played on WMGK occasionally. Like 90s rock is all oldies now.
All old.
Like I don't know how old you guys are. You said you're 41 and you're
40.
40. When was WMR that big when you guys were younger? When I
bring you back up your radio days. Chris was on 94.1, right? Which was a
YSP.
Yeah, it was a rock station.
Oh yeah, it was. They had a rivalry for years. When I was a teenager in the early 80s, MMR, everybody listened to MMR. If you didn't listen to MMR, you homo, you listen to MMR. Everybody.
That was their advertising.
It was pretty much listen to us and you're a homo. That was pretty much literally everybody listened to MMR.
Well, if no one's using that slogan now, I think the Weekday Comics says, if you're not listening to the Weekday,
you're a homo.
Well, the short-lived run of Weekday Update has ended now. We've adopted a much more problematic phrase.
I can give Taylor Swift one prop though. I realize she has her fans in order, because I've noticed there's a bunch of shitty fan bases out there, but the only way I find out that the fan bases are shitty are by me being a fan of the thing and wanting to like Star Wars. I'm a big fan of. I look at some Star Wars tweet comments or fuck Star Wars now, they ruined everything. Like one of my favorite bands, Tool. It's like, oh, if you don't listen to this on an intellectual, like all the other fan bases cannibalize themselves.
Right.
Taylor Swift's got them all facing outward.
Yeah, so Taylor Swift fans, it's interesting because she's had like misfortune relatively, and yet she's also the most fortunate artist ever. So her fans, it's weird. It's almost like a religion, or like what Christians kind of do, where they'll be like, oh my God, we're being attacked again. We're always so attacked. And it's like, you're in charge. Like, so it's funny because like they had the Kanye thing, and they had like the guy Scooter Braun who stole all her music. She put out all her music, and they under a label, and the label like kind of stole it from her, so that she has to like re-release all of her stuff and like tweak a bar here and there to like make it different.
If you stealing Taylor Swift's music, you are the worst taste thief ever. No thief ever had. My feeling about Taylor Swift is, if I could go back into a time machine in 2009, I'd be rooting for Kanye.
I'm gonna be in trouble.
We all should have thanked Kanye at the time. We didn't realize.
Maybe hold off on the Jew stuff till this year, because now it's okay.
You know what? He was ahead on that. Kanye's ahead of the curve on everything. Taylor, the debt to Israel. Kanye, why are we not listening to Kanye?
I know. That's why Kyrie was a good fueling story that he made it back to the finals this year. When 2 years ago he was an anti-Semite.
It was like Kyrie has not had been a feel good story.
We'll find out another 6 months. The Earth is flat. Kyrie Irving would be another prophet. Now, these guys, we don't realize who the prophets are. It's a shame.
It's true. Yeah.
All right. What was the other topic you had?
All right. So we have. Okay. Wait. If I can remember. Let's see.
Hawk Tuah girl.
Putin and
Kelly
Kim
Stafford.
Jong.
Matt Stafford.
Kelly Stafford, and there was one more, right?
I think you had 5.
Louisiana.
Oh, Louisiana. Well, the Hawk Tuah girl. I mean, she did.
All right, let's talk.
Daddy's
Dave was
girl,
hoping
right?
you would get into this.
Everybody's favorite. Everybody wants her as a girlfriend. Nobody wants her as a daughter, right? Isn't that the idea? You turn that on and she's your dad. How could that guy be feeling right now?
Yeah.
The sad thing is, he might actually be proud, which brings up other issues.
Yeah, you heard that accent.
Yeah.
Spit on that thing.
Yeah, he might be proud, but it's amazing, these influencers. We're 5 years away from one of these influencers being appointed to the Supreme Court. I mean, it's amazing.
Sure. Yeah, I did. That was the question I wanted to ask about that. Like, are you happy for her success as a guy who just is happy to see a girl out there who appreciates blowjobs, or as a comedian watching how easy it is for some people to just shoot to the top when we've been slaving away at this for
this
so
is my
long.
argument with that. That girl has brothers. That is a statement that you only learn from guys fucking around with each other. I don't think a guy was in a position to get a blowjob from her and was going to blow it by going, I just go Hawk Tuah on it. That never happened. That is a girl's like older brother or like guy friend fucking around, and she's doing that. And I think that it's like, yeah, I just don't believe that she came up with it. And more importantly, I don't like the hawk. The hawk is not a necessary part of the Tuah is the important part. Hawk is like phlegm.
Yeah.
You're like, if you're hawking up something, you're I don't want a girl to spit a loogie on my dick.
In my teenage days when we were listening to MMR and calling people homos, that's how you imitated if somebody spitting. You say, oh, you didn't say the Tuah, you just so I mean it makes sense. The hawk part makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Flashing back to my angry teenage days.
Okay, now we know the generational. Yeah. So you have a problem with the hawk. You have a problem with the Tuah. Yeah.
There we go. There's the gap.
Maybe she has an uncle. Maybe the uncle taught her that, because that could be something from my generation.
Yeah.
So she's good. Okay, so she's in the middle of her 15 minutes. If she wants to keep that going, is there any?
I think she's doing a podcast. I'm scheduled on that.
Yeah. Is there anywhere she can go but porn? She can't just go around building a career talking about her love of blowjobs.
OnlyFans.
She could have a political career now.
It could be
Hawk Tuah 24.
The way this works, that's what I'm saying. These people are going to be on, like, remember that Meatball who was involved in that thing a few months ago, Meatball, with everybody must eat. Everybody, when they had the riots in Philly last year, when that cop remember that cop was shot, then they dropped the charges and it was a big riot.
That happens. Which one?
Yeah,
which instance of that?
It was just last year, and there was a black girl who called herself Meatball. She was an Instagram influencer.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Everybody must eat. Everybody. She's gonna be Philadelphia mayor one of these days. I'm almost positive of it.
Yeah, but she didn't say everybody must spit on a dick.
No, but still, it's the same genre.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to Supreme Court Justice Mr. Beast. That'll be a good one.
Oh, I can say it. Who knows what some of these people are going to be? It's amazing. These people are held up as role models.
Well, she's not even the one that wanted. She was just a person that was interviewed. Like,
yeah,
you feel bad for the guy.
Interviewing?
Nobody knows who the fuck he is, right?
Was he asking her sex secrets or sex?
Yeah, he was asking like, what is your secret to a good blowjob?
So what is he, like the new Joe Francis? This guy going around?
He is our Walter Cronkite.
Yeah, yes. In this world, he would be.
Edward
R. Murrow.
Is that technically the news these days? Is that what?
It's all the news that's fit to print.
Yeah, we gotta reformat then, huh?
I'll tell you what, the Hawk Tuah girl crowded out most news this weekend.
It's true, but I'm saying until the next one, there was the girl from last week. she was just, I guess she was like in her kitchen cooking something and talking about it, like, and she's like, oh, my friends are dating these broke ends.
Yes, that was, and then she
blew up, but then she just kept posting everything she tweeted was just ended with that word. And I was like,
she
okay.
fucked herself over because she decided to do the thing where you've been canceled. I'm going to go now become a right-wing anti-cancellation figure. So she ran the other way and she was like, no, I'll say it as much as I want because, I'm white and that's great. And then all the white nationalists were like, okay, cool for a day. And then on day 2, they were like, wait a second, you have an interracial kid. And they're like, no, fuck
she
you.
Was complaining
So now
about,
no one likes her.
She was complaining about her friends dating black guys.
No. So
she just broke it. But
she used the word. She used the word, broke ass N words. But she said the actual word. She is white, and she just said it very casually, and she got in trouble for it. And then she like double and tripled down on it and said, "I'll keep saying
the N word."
Yeah,
like every time she posted, like, "Oh, check out like this," and then it was all like, "Okay, well, she's clearly a one-trick pony, and it's not that good of a trick."
Yeah.
No, I think Che Guerrero, who does like my documented ass podcast on the Drop 10, the only reason I mentioned it. But he did kind of go like $10 says. He like predicted it, and then she already was like on Fox News and was like trying to get a job.
Yeah, right.
You think she would have her own show on Fox News?
She tried. What happened was she has a interracial kid.
So they said she's not a full-bred racist.
Right. The racist won't accept her. So now she tried to run full racist and be like, whatever, I'll just have a career like this. And the racists were like, no.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. If you're going to form a new clan, you can't have a black kid. You can't have a black kid. That's almost rule number 1. Whoever formed the original clan, he had no black kids. I'm almost positive.
I would agree.
Other than that, her plan was perfect because we have noticed a trend that when people piss off the left, the right makes them rich as shit.
100%.
Like Kyle Rittenhouse and that kid that stared down the Indian guy that was playing the drum.
Yeah.
That kid won $40 million.
Yeah.
Has Harrison Butker gotten his payday yet? I mean, you would think.
He's probably
he'll probably
paid kicker. Yeah.
He'll probably be one of the only.
He retires from kicking. He'll get a Fox News podcast.
Yep. Aaron Rodgers will probably do something.
Aaron Rodgers.
He's doing ayahuasca or something. He skipped minicamp to go do ayahuasca. Which, if you think about it, that's probably more useful than NFL minicamps. I can't see they're the most overrated thing in the world. But yeah, if you're one of the 3 kickers in the league that's as reliable,
as Harrison
you
Butker
fucking say whatever you want.
Yeah.
And also, I wanted to bring up Harrison Butker later because I was just thinking, how much would fucking Matt Stafford?
He'd rather be.
How much does he want to switch place with Harrison Butker right now? A guy that keeps his wife in line.
Also, Harrison Butker.
Awesome segue.
Matt Stafford's wife likes bad boys, and Harrison Butker's a bit of a bad boy, so you should probably keep her away.
Wow, that's funny.
You want to explain the story?
In the new left, being a bad boy is being a Christian good boy.
If we found out that Harrison Butker's wife was fucking somebody behind his back, that would be hilarious.
Yes, it would.
That would be awesome.
Even worse, a punter.
For people that don't know the story,
a kicker in the UFL.
Oh yeah, right. You go down NFL Europe. The story is that Matt Stafford, the quarterback of the Rams, his wife was on a podcast, and she said that in college, they had like an on again, off again relationship, and to make him jealous, she fucked his backup quarterback at Georgia, and then like made him like basically do like some things that would be romantic in a movie but problematic in real life.
Yeah.
Like not getting out of her car until she agreed to like go out with him again. But the real buried lead in that whole story is what this backup quarterback looks like. And you said this too. Neil, can you pull this guy up?
He looks like a homeless person. It's brutal. I couldn't believe when I thought my granny showed me on his phone. I thought he was kidding. I said, that can't be him.
And this is like the definition of like a guy who's got it. Riz, as the kids say.
Riz.
His name is, hold on, I know what his name is. It's Joe Cox, C-O-X.
See,
he was backup quarterback out of Georgia.
So that broke 2 rules. I don't normally go to Kensington, and I don't hang out with people who say Riz. So it's two rules.
Well, I'm just trying to keep it hip for the kids. I don't really say Riz either. But certainly if we were going to say it, we would say it in relation to this guy because Matt Stafford was the last quarterback to sign into the NFL before the rookie deal. So he made $60 million or something.
That's the guy?
In one day.
No, Rainey showed me a more recent picture where he had this beard and he just looked awful.
See, so how's Kelly?
That picture right there that you're scrolled above, that's the one that I saw where he's not wearing a helmet down over to.
Gee.
Where he's not wearing a helmet.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Okay. Well, I was just going to show it. Yeah, that one.
That's a good
fine.
portrait.
Yeah. Just where we can see how ugly he is.
We were going to the beard. That's why I was.
No, I mean,
Oh, Doyle rules. Sorry.
Yeah, really.
You were saying it?
no, I mean, maybe Rainey showed me the wrong picture, but the picture he showed me was this guy with a horrible beard. I said, "What? That can't be him."
So, like, one of my favorite genres of pictures.
But how great can this girl be if you're gonna take her when she's fucking your backup quarter? Wouldn't you're the starter, find another girl? You're gonna put up with that?
Yeah, Matt
Yeah.
Stafford's not a bad looking dude.
Why
He's
would
the
why
fucking
would you
court
put up with that?
Right.
I don't. Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Like
If
you ever
I,
see the?
if I had a
sorry.
girlfriend, which we know is a fantasy, and she was fucking canceled, I wouldn't take her back. I know my father-
What about one of the puppets?
Well, listen.
But yeah, there's the pictures. One of my favorite pictures are the draft day pictures where someone's getting drafted and the girlfriend's all excited, and then the week later she's not in the
She's
picture.
gone.
Yes,
anymore.
yeah, she's
Always.
gone.
How is
Always
Kelly
gone.
Stafford one of the ones that stuck around knowing this story?
You're right.
They're always good. You're right. The girlfriend's always. Why would the guy keep the girl? He can trade up. He just signed a contract. He can trade up with the girls.
But like she had to have known when he was the starter at Georgia that he was about to become like a $60 million man, and she still went out and banged that red potato.
I mean, he was the Detroit Lions quarterback. Does that have any
Oh
prestige?
yeah, that deal. Your girlfriend probably is gonna fuck somebody if you're on the Detroit line. That's true. That you gotta leave her. But then he went to the Rams and
Yeah.
won the Super Bowl, so now he should be putting her out.
That's right.
He went to Hollywood and got a ring.
I'm just saying, like, I watched that Barry Sanders documentary like a week or two ago. Still couldn't tell you a single quarterback that played
Oh no.
during his era.
No.
It's amazing. You talk about a guy with a wasted talent that was, that he was stuck in Detroit, Barry Sanders. He might have been the greatest running back ever, or close to it, and he was stuck with the Detroit
I know
Lions.
they might have had
Yeah.
the greatest wide receiver too, and he's like,
Oh,
"Fuck this, I'm out."
Megatron. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. That's terrible. But now they're actually pretty good. Last year what was their lead in the NFC Championship game? Were they up?
Oh,
21?
yeah.
Was it
They did a
21-0?
Falcons level collapse.
It was an epic choke.
Was it 21-0 or something like
Something
that?
like that, yeah.
It's unbelievable. They blew that game. He wouldn't kick the field goal. If he kicked one of those field goals, they could have increased the lead. He kept going for it.
Yeah.
They didn't have no Harrison Butker in the locker room.
No,
That's
if
the
you have that
problem.
kind of lead, you don't go going on 4th down. You take
They
the
were
field
playing.
goal.
Yeah, they were playing like they had nothing to lose, which
They
yeah,
had
they were
plenty.
just they shouldn't have done it because they were the better team. They were the better team that day.
Once you have that kind of lead, you take the field goal. If
Yeah.
you're behind, then you go for it.
Well,
I don't know what-
San Fran's entire run to the Super Bowl was the opponent shooting themselves
Yeah.
in the dick.
Yeah.
What was the
'Cause
other
the
one?
Packers had a huge lead on them too.
Yep.
And then there was that one circus catch where it hit off the fucking
That was
defender's
absurd.
head, and
Oh, yeah,
Brandon
yeah,
Ayuk
yeah,
caught it.
That was in the Detroit game where it,
No,
like
that was the
wasn't it?
Packers.
was it the Packers? There was that. Yeah. There
They
was
did
some
their job
fucking-
and got rid of Dallas so beautifully.
Yeah, I really
They
as long
did.
as Dallas gets knocked out early, I don't really care what happens.
Yeah,
um,
no, that's always the thing.
Yeah, hopefully Dak's girlfriend cheats on him.
Wait,
Bangs his backup. Who is Dak's backup?
Cooper Rush,
Is it Cooper? Yeah.
Wow.
another redhead.
Yeah,
Wow.
there you go.
What a time
These
to be a
potato-
redheaded
yeah, these
quarterback.
redheaded
in the
potato
NFL.
men.
Not if you're Carson Wentz. Not if you're
yeah,
Carson Wentz. He didn't think it was a great time to be a redheaded quarterback. He was backing up. He's backing up Stafford, wasn't he? On the Rams.
yes, he was.
So it is a good
See,
time to be Carson
Yeah,
Wentz.
there you
It
go.
is. It might become full circle.
Carson Wentz trying to get close to Kelly.
There you go.
Some man of God he is. All right.
All right, what else? We had the Kim Jong Un.
Oh,
the-
yes.
The rom-com we didn't know we needed. It's awesome.
I gotta say, the pictures, every picture I saw of those two was as wholesome looking as can be. They look like
Yeah.
they're having like a swell. Like a swell is the only word you could use to describe the time that looks like those two are having
Yeah.
with
It
each
was a
other.
great rom-com. The only part I didn't like was when they went into the sushi restaurant and Kim Jong faked the orgasm. Come on, it's been done. It's been done.
Sleepless in Seoul.
I
There you
could-
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sleepless in
dude,
Seoul.
Well,
Seoul.
Seoul, but I leaned into it for Seattle.
I thought they were serving seal at this particular
Well,
Japanese
they could
restaurant.
have been. None of the people were eating. That's for sure. None of the public.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait. So wait, they were hanging out. They were hanging out in North Korea.
Right.
In North Korea, yeah. That's the amazing part. Who goes to North Korea? Well, two leaders will go. Didn't Trump go there to meet
Trump
Kim?
went there.
Was
He
that
saluted
right on the
the
border? It
general.
was right on the border of South Korea. Yeah.
Dennis Rodman,
Dennis Rodman
Dennis-
certainly
Steven
goes there.
Seagal,
Steven Seagal's been there.
Otto Warmbier.
Well,
Who was Otto Warmbier?
Otto
He was the guy who
Warmbier-
died,
he
right?
died
Oh,
in
that's right.
prison. In the
Otto
Was that
prison.
Russia or North Korea?
North Korea.
North Korea.
Otto Warmbier. It doesn't get talked. He needs to go down in history as one of the most retarded people to ever exist. Who the fuck goes to North Korea and acts a fool like that?
Yeah.
That's
He
right.
was tearing down posters at the airport or some shit. I'm sorry. That's natural selection. If you go to North Korea and start committing crimes,
Yeah.
you're not going to be around much longer.
Otto, wow. This has got to be the only podcast that's going to mention Otto
Yeah,
tonight. I'm sure
That's true.
I don't think Joe Rogan's bringing him up. Maybe Adam Carolla, but I don't think so.
Well,
Adam Kroll is probably pro tearing down signs in North Korea, though.
yeah.
He's crazy. I don't even know if he's that crazy.
But the Putin and Kim love affair is going strong, and it's great.
Oh, it's unbelievable the way they're going strong. It's
Just goes to show, like, a good relationship is really built on having missile parts that you may need for some sort of a Western or Eastern European offensive, I suppose.
It's the best romance since Jim and Pam on The Office.
Yeah. I hope that. So do you hope this one gets canceled soon then, so it doesn't
I just hope
overrun?
Steve Carell doesn't leave and they
Yeah.
try to do 2 more seasons. But that's no good. That doesn't work.
Well, who's Steve Carell? Biden, Trump? Or-
Yeah, I don't know.
I shot my load on that reference.
Yeah, I'm a completionist. I'm a two completionist, so I need to.
You need to get it all
I need
done.
to. I need to. Yeah, the simile. I need to complete it, but
I don't know enough of the. I don't know The Office well enough to know who would be
That's
Trump or
fair.
Biden. Sorry,
But-
Dave.
all like
Biden would be Creed on The Office.
Creed.
Okay.
It's just the nonsensical old guy.
Old guy, yeah.
And I think Trump might be that Packer, the guy who used to come and visit back with the David Ketchner played him. Packer, he would come and visit. That
Yes,
could be
I
Trump.
100% can see that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
There you go. That itch was scratched for you.
That was going to weigh on me. And I would have thought of it maybe like the second I got to my car and be like, well, let's see if I can remember this for a week. And I won't.
No.
You know, David Ketchner is a funny story about him. He was in Anchorman, and
Mhm.
but when he was supposedly playing at a comedy club in Philadelphia, and he went up to a black waiter and said, "My young friend, do you know where I can get some?"
Oh,
Yeah.
cocaine.
But he picked out the black kid to go up to him and say that. To him. He wants to get stoned, but he's profiling at the same time.
Well,
I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm
Yeah.
just saying he's profiling.
yeah, sure.
I'm not saying I did. Then he probably maybe he got some cocaine. I can't say.
Yeah.
David. This was David Keckner. that got
David
cocaine?
Ketchner,
Yeah. Okay.
you know, he is.
I
right. He's-
I've I won't say performed with him because he wasn't even in the building when I performed, but I did a show that he was on.
Wow, where was this at?
I was in Los Angeles. for
Oh,
a long time.
nice.
I don't like to talk about it because they play a effect. They play a sound effect when I bring it up. But yeah, so
Why do they play a sound effect?
because they think I'm bragging.
I lived in LA.
How long were you out there?
They think I'm bragging. About 4 years.
Oh, nice.
4 or 5 years.
Someone that's interested. This is a big moment
I know.
for you.
No, I don't want to talk about it. I'm
Don't
embarrassed.
downplay it.
I'm
If you want to,
embarrassed.
yeah.
No,
Why were you embarrassed?
I'm not really. I'm not really.
I went to Los Angeles, and how long I lasted? 7 months.
Oh,
So
wow.
you ought to
It's
brag about your 4 years.
It's expensive. Yeah. Well, I moved out there to work in film and TV, and then I got started in comedy while I was out
See,
there.
I went out
so-
there and I thought I was funny, and then I found out when I got to Los Angeles. No, then I got back on a plane and came home. That's a good way. If you're not sure if you're funny, go to Los Angeles. You'll know.
Well, hey, at least you got back on the plane. I know a lot of people that went out there, found out they weren't funny, and were like, "I'm just gonna keep doing it." So, no,
Yeah,
I'm
that
just
wasn't-
kidding.
I didn't have
You
that
are
op-
funny.
I didn't have that option.
Yeah, just hope a wildfire takes me out before all the money goes
I didn't
away.
have that option. Well, the money went away. That's for sure. That's
Yeah,
why I
it
left
goes away
after
pretty
7 months.
quickly.
Well, were you not funny, or are LA crowds just like I could see
LA
them
crowds
not
stink.
having the best sense of humor?
I
Like,
mean, it was more. I wasn't very funny, and the money ran out. It was both, so it was embarrassment on both parts.
Yeah, same for me. Actually, it's basically the same thing. You basically run out. Nobody leaves LA because they want to.
Exactly.
It's either they got money to leave, they got paid more money to leave, or they ran out of money there.
Right.
which was it? They They gave you money to leave?
No, I ran out of money. I
Oh.
ran out of
I
all
completely
money.
ran out of money.
Yeah.
So everybody knows that a good world war is started by an
All right.
axis,
Woo!
an axis of. So who's the third leg on this Putin Jong Un?
Well, Iran's got to get in there, right?
Yeah.
They still have that crazy guy with the beard as the president. What was that guy's name?
I don't know even. I don't even know who you're talking about, but I'm
Yes.
sure he has a
The
beard.
answer is the crazy guy with a beard. He's got the wrap on his head.
But when Bush was president, he came here and he came into the UN. I forget what he said about Bush. He said something, some horrible thing, and he said it right here in America. Bush was president, so he might not be around anymore because this is when Bush was president. I haven't seen this guy, but he didn't wear anything in his head. He just had the beard and he would rant and rave. I forget what the hell his name was. I'm drawing a blank.
The
on it.
Ayatollah?
Yeah.
No.
He was we overthrew that motherfucker.
No, it wasn't. I forget what his name was.
I'd say
Nothing to fatwa ourselves.
But Iran, I mean, they say Iran's financing everything, right? They say Iran might have financed the attack on Israel, the October 7th.
Yep.
And then, so we'll throw them in as the third leg. Why not?
All right, sweet.
Yeah.
It's sort of the third leg.
Because I know they've made everybody eligible for the draft now, except finally a reason to feel good about being post 40.
100%. I will no longer have to deal with any draft related. Like by the time they get to you and me, Dave, the war's going to be going very bad.
Well,
Like
Iran can be the third. They're like the Curly Joe. The Curly Joe.
Oh, they don't even get Curly stat. Curly Joe was because there was the three good Stooges.
Curly Joe DeRitter. He was the last
Shemp
one.
was pretty good.
Shemp was good.
Yeah,
I will brook no Shemp slander.
Then it was Joe Besser. Then it was Curly Joe DeRitter.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Joe was all right.
if we're ranking the Stooges, well, Shemp is fourth. If you rank the Stooges,
Yeah.
and
Shemp
there can
is
only
the
be
fourth.
three. So I
Fine.
like Shemp,
That's fine.
but Shemp is an
That's
outlier.
fair. That's fair. I will accept that. I just won't let you shit talk Shemp.
Okay,
And
Shemp
Shemp was in the original. It was Mo, Larry, and Shemp were the three originals.
Right.
right.
And Shemp
Yeah.
wanted to be a serious actor. And that's when they got Curly to take his place. Can you imagine? Then when Curly got sick, Shemp came back.
Yeah.
But can you imagine Shemp wanted to be a serious actor?
Were they big with Shemp? I'm guessing they were big.
No, they
but
weren't.
Curly had to launch him into a new strata
That's
because
right. They weren't big yet. They were still with that guy Ted Healy. It was Ted Healy and his Stooges. It was this guy. He was like the straight man.
Okay.
Ted Healy.
I
But
never even heard of him.
yeah, Ted Healy. But the thing is, there's nobody to take Shemp and say, hey, stupid. You're not going to be a serious actor. Nobody can take him in a room. What the fuck?
Right. You're Shemp.
You're going to be you're fucking Shemp, for fuck's sake. How could there be nobody who could nobody in his life could get a hold of him? And there's a couple old black and white movies where he pops up. Like there's a one of the W.C. Fields movies, he pops up, and something else.
Okay.
It's like, wait, that's fucking Shemp. What is
What are you doing? Why are you not running around
I
in a
saw him as
circle?
a kid. I was like, wait, that's fucking Shemp. What is he? He can't be there playing that part. That's ridiculous. But
Shemp never did the circle run though. I
No,
don't think.
no, he
Curly.
No,
That's
Curly.
what launched the Stooges into that fucking circle run.
That
the whole
circle
thing
run,
with Curly was fucking everything. He was like a maniac. He was fucking everything.
Oh, that is true. Like
Yeah,
the actor that
absolutely.
played Curly,
Good on
he
him.
was a sex pest.
Curly was fucking everything.
Yeah.
The Stooges groupies. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comedians you don't realize. Bob Hope. Bob Hope was fucking everything. he was married to the same woman, Dolores, for 60 years, but they had an open as long as he kept it discreet, and she got to be the one. But I read a biography of him. He was fucking. He would have these writers.
He goes overseas.
That's why he's always
got
doing
a
the tour.
taste of every nation.
he would have these writers meetings, and he would show up 2 hours late. The writers would be there working, and they couldn't understand why he was showing up 2 hours late, because he would go and bang one of his girls, and he showed up late. And Jerry Lewis was another one. He was fucking everything.
Oh, I know.
Too.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Isn't he one of those rumored massive dong people too?
Oh, I don't know.
Or
About
that
Jerry
was Mil-
Lewis?
Milton
That's
Berle.
Milton Berle.
Milton
Yeah.
Berle has the giant.
He had the giant dong. Rodney Dangerfield.
Dangerfield.
Giant dong.
Giant,
never heard of it.
giant balls.
That's
They
what
would
giant
say-
balls.
They
You're
would
right.
say he would wear a robe and it wouldn't be open, and you couldn't take your eyes off his giant balls.
And
Yeah.
too bad he was in an era where you didn't talk about your balls too much.
Yeah, you
I'd love to
couldn't
hear
really.
Rodney riff on his balls a little bit.
Well, Milton Berle would show people, like they say, you want to see him? And what's his name? The Alan Zweibel, who's the writer on Saturday Night Live, the original. He was in his dressing room going over a skit. Milton Berle said to him, "You want to see it?" And he said, "No." He's trying to tell him no, and he just opens his robe, and just then Gilda Radner steps in the room, and she sees it. She sees Milton Berle's dick, and says, "Okay, I'll leave you guys alone." If you want.
Good different times, huh? Where you could just Now you get all canceled when you do that. All right.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, now you get canceled. Louis C.K. was the Pope next to this guy. he had to lose his career.
Well, I mean, on the bright side, he just focuses on stand-up now, and it's still fantastic.
Oh, Louis C.K. is still
Yeah.
funny. There's no
Yeah.
question. I mean, if anybody got screwed, I mean, he was going to hotel rooms with adult women, right? And I mean, right? Don't you think he got screwed over? I mean, it wasn't like he was with underage girls. Why did he have to lose his whole career?
I mean, he
didn't lose his whole career though.
I'm actually-
But he lost a lot. Is trying to come back. But
it worked out pretty well for me because
you,
my career
but-
took off. No. As a consumer, because before that, I was paying like $100 some. I saw him at Soul Joel's after and it was $20.
Oh,
Wow,
yeah.
Like, yeah.
$20. I've done shows where the tickets are more than that. You imagine you have to pay more to see Ed McGonigal than Louis C.K. He doesn't. You tell me he didn't get screwed? Holy cow! I think.
Well,
I think
Ed McGonigal, Ed McGonigal's never, trapped a girl between a hotel doors, so
No, I've
that
never-
also factors into the
I
price.
never tried. Well, I always pay, and they stay willingly. As long as you pay them, they don't scream. They don't,
I lost my train of thought there.
Yeah,
for a second.
I'm still thinking about Milton Berle's giant.
Yeah,
Dog.
Him and they had the contest. You know who Forrest Tucker was? Forrest Tucker played Sergeant Agon on F Troop.
Oh,
Okay.
Have you ever
yeah.
seen F Troop?
Yeah.
So
haven't
he supposedly had a gigantic dick, and they used to. Mine's bigger. Excuse me. So they decided to have a showdown. Is it the Beverly Hills Country Club or the Beverly Hills Hilton? So they got a bunch of stars like Frank Sinatra and over there, and they all had money down, and Milton Berle won. So that's why he was declared the biggest cock of all time.
I've always
Wow.
thought I grew up in the wrong era. I mean, not that I would win any of these contests,
But
but
it'd be cool to be there, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Just be on the dais.
it's historic. That's like a monumental event.
A dick
And
measuring contest
a literal-
officiated by old Blue Eyes himself.
I mean, I refer to
Blue eyes?
comedy as a dick measuring contest.
yeah, that's true.
But a literal one. I don't know. If I was like that though, I wonder if I would be more one of those people that showed it off more often. Like,
Oh,
I'm not that
I can
person.
promise you, I'd get the word out there, so hopefully some women would hear about it. I absolutely would get the word out.
I wonder if it's more to me having a conscience or just me not having anything
no,
to
no,
back
no.
it up.
I'd
Yeah.
try to find. I'd tell Cancel on his blabbermouth. He'd tell everybody. So hopefully some women would hear about it.
Well, there's that guy I saw like a documentary on, and he's got like the world's biggest dick. It's like
Wow.
18 inches or something. And he said he's like, no, it's really like complicates my life. Women don't want it. I don't like this is actually a curse. And I feel like it is the least sympathy anyone who's ever gotten.
Women don't want it.
Yeah, because it's like,
But-
some do, I suppose, is like a fetish object. But
Yeah,
like,
which
yeah.
because there's that one fucking dude I see. Like, there's like this porn. He's kind of like an alien looking fucking dude, and he makes videos with fucking hot thoughts, let's call them or whatever.
Well, that's probably some sort of a business arrangement.
It's gigantic. He's a gigantic cock.
I've never watched.
Oh,
I've just
okay.
seen like there's like you see like those Brazzers ones where it's just 5 dudes standing over a chick on a couch, like pictures like that. But I was like, oh, I got to watch this fucking mongrel.
But that's like, I feel like that's like, well, I feel like that's like a thing where
Is mongrel not okay for me to say?
I don't know in
I don't
that
actually
context.
know what mongrel.
I'm not sure if in that context.
In this day and age, mongrel, you're gonna be. As long as you don't say mongoloid, you're all right. Don't say that.
Mongoloid is an official term. I
You
found
can't,
out.
no, you can't say that.
Yeah,
Well,
but
you
they-
can't describe anyone.
But they
like
don't.
that.
They
We
don't.
can
Say,
talk
they
about
don't. It was, but they don't. I don't think they use it anymore. I think it got crossed out in the Great Purge.
I had to help. I had to help file a missing person report on someone. I don't know if they're alive. I don't care. Actually, it was just I was just there as like moral support or whatever, and like they were asking all the questions, like white, what color hair, like about how tall, any like deficiencies, like mongoloidism, and I was like, that cop just fucking like
The cop actually said to you mongoloidism.
like that was what he's reading off of an official form.
Was
That's
the cop
crazy.
Rod Steiger from In the Heat of the Night from the time machine? Mongoloidism.
He was reading off the thing, so the thing had to have said mongoloidism on it.
Wow, that's funny.
I think because it sounds so weird, it's still offensive. I feel like it should have rolled off already. Like, I was thinking the other day, like we call things lame all the time. That's not even, that's considered like one of the softest terms you can describe
lame
something.
means your legs don't work.
Right, it means your legs don't work. So it's like those people are still out there. So it's like, but we've decided that
that
word is
baseball had
not...
a change. They're not allowed to say disabled list anymore. They have to say injured list in baseball.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they can't say the disabled list anymore.
Because I mean, that was for decades. You on the disabled list. Now you're on the injured list because you can't.
That's true.
You can't be temporarily disabled. Like it's.
Well,
yeah. So now, if you're on the disabled list, you just have to retire, or what?
Yeah, the disabled list is a much sadder list than the injury list. But yeah, I don't know. Lame is an easy term.
But lame is fine now for the most part. If I post something like that's lame.
Exactly. Nobody would be like, "Excuse me, that's ignoring the plight of people that can't walk good." You know, because I believe lame is specifically you can walk, but you can't walk well, right? I think is that I wouldn't describe someone as a. I don't believe you would describe someone in a wheelchair.
I didn't go to medical school. I don't know.
I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is nobody cares about lame. You would think that to me, it's weird that mongoloid, which is like probably an older term, is still offensive. I accept that it is, but
of all the terms that you can use for those people, the mongoloid is the one that puts the clearest image in my head, and it's not a flattering.
It sounds the worst. Yeah. Like people are still fighting over the R word. You know where I stand on it because I'm not even gonna say it. I'll say mongoloid before they get me on tape saying that word. But I feel like that's just like the rolling. Because honestly, I think that word sounds way nicer than mongoloid.
Retard sounds better than mongoloid.
I would much rather be called that.
Well, yeah, I would think retard. See, there's something noble about it. Mongoloid, forget it. You're completely fucked.
Well, retard is a verb. It's like it just means retard is
right,
meant
to retard,
to be a people. It's to slow something down.
Right.
So Mongol, yeah. I guess when you put it in that context, it's worse than mongoloid. Right?
If any context where you did something and someone was trying to put you down by calling you a retard. If they were like, you fucking mongoloid, it would hurt. It would really hurt way more, you know? So I think that's what keeps it. It's like in the cunt phase. Like if a British person says cunt, cute, you know what I mean? But it just, an American saying it sounds so harsh that it remains at the pinnacle of curse words.
All right,
I think that's what we're dealing with.
Next week, we'll just practice saying retard in a bunch of different accents and see which one sounds the nicest.
I think a Scottish might be good.
But don't do it in jive. Don't do jive from Airplane. You ever see Airplane?
I love that.
That would be cool. If we did like an Amos and Andy, and then we're saying the word retard, you'd be finding two people.
We could only do white accents. So like English, Scottish,
Slavic,
French,
or
German.
Russian.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. We're covered now.
Thank God.
You could do a Jew. You could do like
these retards. No, that doesn't sound good. That doesn't feel good to say.
Doesn't feel
I don't
good.
think it sounded good.
It sounds like something somebody is saying currently in the world.
So retarded. No, it's not good.
I don't like it.
It's not good.
I don't like it. So you sound like the Mike Myers church lady. Coffee talk.
Coffee talk. That's exactly.
Did you just say Mike Myers church lady?
Or well, whatever. It's not the church lady,
coffee
but
talk,
coffee talk. Yeah.
All right. Do we have time to talk about Louisiana?
Oh, the 10 Commandments. You know, it's funny. I always approach the 10 Commandments like baseball. If I go 3 out of 10, I'm having a good year. You know what I mean? 3 out of 10, I'm on the All-Star team. That's my feeling about it.
Well, the first 4 are the same. So if you fuck up that,
you're
down to 60% already. They're all don't worship anyone else. Don't
cover that neighbor's wife, which right back to Matthew Stafford again. So we're going right back again.
Covet thy starting quarterback's girlfriend.
So, just don't rape and murder.
Don't bear false witness. Imagine telling a comedian don't lie. That's the whole point of being a comedian. You go around lying all day.
Yeah. The other day, we start everything with a lie.
And
we didn't do anything the other day.
And like, what's coveting really? Like, is it
ogling or is
it like? Is it or I think it means like desiring, but it means like really desiring, or is it like my neighbor's wife? Yeah, she get it. And I feel like that's pretty innocuous. But that's a 10 Commandment sin.
Yeah, you'd have to tell a priest about that.
Yeah. That's some bullshit.
I don't know though. I do think Louisiana might not be the right state to push the whole. I just think like your whole economy runs on people coming there to see girls show off their
There you
tits
go. There you go.
for
Yeah,
beads.
the famous Mardi Gras is giving us the Ten Commandments and every
That's
might
right.
be mixed messages. You're absolutely right. You can't say about not taking the Lord's name in vain when you got to watch the Saints every Sunday.
That's true. Yeah.
You gotta be kidding.
Also, I can't get too mad about anything that's happening in the Louisiana classroom, because if anything actually worked there, we wouldn't have Louisiana. Like, are you worried that these kids are going to have a bad influence from something they've picked up in a Louisiana classroom?
And besides,
They're getting 12 years out of that, and they're forgetting every single thing that they were taught.
In 2006 with Katrina, God already hates Louisiana.
Yeah.
So buying the Ten Commandments ain't going to save you.
And they showed Jesus' dedication to the homeless people too, right? Just make them live in the fucking stadium.
Hey,
We don't want to look at them.
Yeah, thou shalt not have a gang fight in the Superdome. That should be one of the commandments in Louisiana. Not stab anybody in the Superdome.
That's the 11th. That was the 11th commandment.
But these are Louisiana students, so we don't expect them to be able to count past 10.
Right. Yeah. If they get to 10,
true.
that's an
You're
achievement.
lucky to count past 7. Never mind if it's Louisiana, for God's sakes.
That's right.
Speaking of counting, we are out of time.
Oh my
This
God,
is
it
time
went
for the
fast.
news.
It's time for the news. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
If you're at the Mother Museum, you can say it. Outside the Mother Museum, you can't say it.
Sure, you certainly could
What is
say
that
that
between
word.
like the Paleolithic era and the Jurassic era, the Mongolithic?
Yeah, in that
I didn't want to
respect,
come
you
back to it.
could
I
say-
can literally.
This was
Neil,
more
you know
of
I
a
never
why
let-
did we talk
You
about
never,
it?
you know, I never drop anything.
All right. Well, hey, we're at the news section. For those of you that hung in there through that last bit, this is the news. Dave and I, Ed, if you haven't seen the podcast, I'll explain it to you. Dave and I have written 12 jokes about this week's news. I don't know what he wrote. He does not know what I wrote. However, if we have a joke on the same news story, we will have a joke off, joking each other off.
You say joke off and not joke off because you're the next Louis C.K. if you don't.
No, well, right. So Dave and I we may end up joking each other off on this podcast. And
Mutually.
mutually joking off. There's no sort of Louis C.K. stuff. But if we joke each other off, meaning if we're going head to head on a joke that we've written on the same news story, and you are the
my
judge.
God, I gotta
So
be,
you
I
pick
gotta
who
be the
wins.
Angel Hernandez of this whole thing.
That's
Oh my
right.
God.
You do. That's right. So, Dave, go ahead.
All
Start.
right. Boeing chief admits company retaliated against whistleblowers. In a new display of inconfidence, Boeing is now demonstrating they can't even keep a cover-up going without the wheels falling off.
That's good. Donald Trump's spiritual advisor resigns amid allegations he molested a 12-year-old. When asked why he was allowed to resign rather than being handed over to the authorities, Donald Trump announced the official founding of Trump Church.
All right. 5 masked men attack, stab 2 victims outside Long Island Charter School graduation. Fortunately, they were identified pretty quickly, as right after the stabbing, they all yelled, "We did it," and tossed their ski mask into the air.
Joe Biden now leads Donald Trump among rural voters, and they can see themselves in Joe. You know, largely useless, mostly forgotten, and in desperate need of medical care.
FDA issues warning to Dollar Tree over its failure to remove recalled children's snack. Luckily, the product isn't really selling, as most parents who bring their kids into Dollar Tree usually just do it to leave them there.
Microplastic discovery in 100% of penises in recent medical study, which finally explains why we can't stop playing with it like bubble wrap.
Nice.
That's good.
Thank you.
I looked at that one for a while. I couldn't come up with anything. Here's one that's going to get Neil on edge. Several Chinese swimmers embroiled in doping scandal selected for Paris Olympics, per report. All the swimmers chosen have come out and said that they're not doping, but he is their cousin.
Damn it.
That one's not going to be a single.
No. We're going to bury that one deep into this episode. Donald Trump joked in meeting with Jewish business leaders, quote, Watch out for this guy. He sort of remembers the ovens. End quote. All right, that is the story. I didn't make that up. That is the story. While many are shocked, Trump insists he was just honoring the incredible amount of damage done by Trump steaks.
Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy reveals he recently beat cancer. And most impressively was how he did it, because everybody knows the rules. Just one chemo treatment.
Okay, this is kind of in the vein of the joke that Neil didn't like that you told.
Good.
North Korea says deal between Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un requires immediate military assistance in the case of war. And if it isn't there within 30 minutes, it's free.
Here's one that kind of, it's not really about anything we talked about. It just uses some of the language, the verbiage.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, no. Justice Department finds Alaska discriminated against disabled voters, violated federal law. Turns out the state is supposed to assist disabled voters get to the polling places by sending a bunch of dogs to pull their wheelchairs.
Wow.
Julian Assange has reached a plea deal with the U.S. government, allowing him to go free. To honor his newfound escape from protective custody, Assange says he will continue to sneak the condom off during sex. That's what he did before he got arrested.
Nice.
He raped a bunch of women.
Goodness. No. Did you write any? Like, I know you do
I
a lot of like monologues. You do
no,
monologues.
You guys got. I don't want to interrupt the host here.
No,
I'm enjoying this.
Okay. If you're enjoying, I just want to make
That makes
sure
one of us
everyone's happy. Yeah. Where was I? The Supreme Court upholds a federal ban on guns for domestic abusers, which is actually great news for the domestic abusers because now they have more time to come up with a better excuse than she just walked into the bullet.
The Supreme Court rejects appeal from ex-reality star Josh Duggar. The good news, Josh is going to be in many quiverful relationships. The bad news, he is now the quiver.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Is that, do I have to watch things to know what that is?
Do you know who the Josh Duggar is?
Is he the guy with 27 kids?
Yeah,
and he had child porn or
they're
something?
called quiverful families.
Oh. Good information to have.
Well, somebody like that. It's,
Oh.
It's basic information about the show, but maybe it is too niche. Maybe a show that went off the air like 6 years
I never
ago
watched it.
needs
Yeah,
more.
I never heard that term. I apologize.
That's okay. It wasn't a good joke.
Amazon will stop using those little plastic pillows in its packaging. Their reasoning, they said they can't just be giving out free air to people when they're already telling their employees that it's one of the benefits.
Ohio attorney suspended over pooping in a Pringles can has his license reinstated. Some employees law firm called the story bittersweet, while I'll say it was more sour cream and onion.
Just good to hear the good guys getting a win for once.
Right?
Yeah.
Justice is served.
Ivy League school to offer course on politics of fatness to examine how fat phobia intersects with oppression. The school said their goal was to show how the overweight deserve dignity and our respect, and to make a killing by charging students double for taking up 2 seats in the classroom.
Channing Tatum is pushing to make 23 Jump Street with Jonah Hill, saying, quote, "We are trying to get it done." It's important. Kanye has so much more personal work to do, and he needs our help.
Where are we? 3 left. Okay. GOP Michigan representative accused of chasing an exotic dancer while brandishing a gun. The representative, who really wants to be respected among his constituents, is making it his personal mission to prove to the public that these accusations are completely 100% true.
Shifty Shellshock, lead singer of the band Crazy Town, dead at 49. He will be buried as he lived, in the shadow of a much larger and better gravestone for the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I saw that name. I guess I didn't know he was the lead singer of Crazy Town.
was
Though,
the
but rest easy, sweet prince. You're my butterfly,
That's
my
right.
sugar baby. The late Jeopardy host Alex Trebek will be honored with a U.S. postage stamp. The only worry is it might not sell too well because most of the people that watch Jeopardy are now too old to produce saliva.
Jeremy Renner says he doesn't have the energy to play complex, challenging characters after his near-death experience, which makes sense as he spent much of last year as a two-dimensional object.
Wow.
I like it. All right, last one. Japanese hotel accused of canceling Israeli guest reservation because of war crimes. Although the Israelis thought they had the moral high ground for once by pointing out us war crimes, at least the plane we took here landed on its wheels.
Wow.
Mayo County woman set to become the first Irish person in space, though she is certainly not the first Irish person to use pure distilled rocket fuel to leave this planet.
Before we thoughts on the first Irish person in space, as
I can't believe it wasn't one of my relatives. You know, we were always threatening to throw a lot of them off the planet. So
awesome. All right, what do you have coming up this week?
Not much. Just check out the McGonigal podcast twice a month on YouTube.
Yeah. When you just recorded on Sunday?
Yeah, we just recorded one. Should be posting either tomorrow night or Wednesday.
Right on. Cool. And you got Mike Rainey on there, who's
Mike Rainey,
friend of the show.
Mike Rainey and Mike O'Donnell. Yeah, good episode.
I haven't seen.
Like I say, twice a month. And I got, I guess I'll get some stand-up dates going soon, or maybe not. Who the hell knows? With my luck.
That's a good response for the Weekday Comics.
Yeah, that's what I was going to use.
Yeah. What about you? What do you got going on?
Check out the Weekday Comics.
Weekday Comics, great podcast.
I got my Phillies Funniest coming up, but I'm not telling people. I want to bareback this shit. I want to try to advance with no audience members.
That really works out with my not being willing to come out and support you. So I appreciate that.
But hey, June's over. It's time to start booking Strady again. So call me up, bookers. My phone is
there you go.
Never off.
Yeah, I'm going to blame it on that as well. I don't have anything this week, but I think it's just because we're at the end of Gay Pride Month. So now you're really not going to get me on this week. You know that you really. I got nothing to say.
It's a bad month for me. I'm not gay and I have no pride. So
I'm very ashamed of who I am, and I'm not gay. So I'll probably see you in July as far as shows are concerned.
Does anybody? July has nobody has claim on July, right?
I don't think so.
Not yet. I'm sure some group will be pissed off about something. They'll have to give them July.
It's got Jew in it. I think we should get that.
Oh, July. You think so?
Right. Although I've turned down the most recent Jew themed show I was asked to be on. But Israel could make its own money. Neil, what do you got?
You can check me out headlining down at Rhythm and Spirits this Thursday in Atlantic City. And Myers Brewing Company this Friday, the 28th. You can come on out to that in Fishtown. And more shows coming up. You can follow it all at drop10.com.
Yeah, and buy our merch. And
yeah. You want these two faces on a shirt?
A silhouette, at least. That's
you don't
tell
actual
faces.
faces. Okay, yeah. You're right.
Our silhouettes, which I promise you are more attractive.
All of our blemishes airbrushed out.
The full detail of our features washed out.
Yeah, that is actually that is actually just a normal picture of us airbrushed to get rid of every flaw.
Yeah, and there are still a few that I can see there just on the silhouette. So, thank you everybody for watching. We will be back next week with who?
We'll discuss that.
All right. We'll be a mystery guest next week.
Yeah.
We'll see you here at 8. Well, there we go. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Oh, man, that was a we fucking landed that like Kerry Strug should have.
How you doing? This is Neil Wood from the Cult of Us podcast, speaking on behalf of Drop 10 Media Network. The network you're currently listening to. Make sure to check out all the other podcasts on the network. You can go to drop10.com to check them all out. Make sure to subscribe on everything that you see Drop 10 on. We appreciate it. Go to drop10.com now. Hey everybody, how you doing? This is comedian Neil Wood and
Adam Nutter.
We can't do it like that. You have to sound like a human being. This cut, that's insane. Because I'm realizing how little you're talking.
Adam Nutter.
I could just take, if you just want me to Honestly, you know what we need to do is we just need to get that clean.
Adam Nutter.
And then I'll just pop it in wherever I need to, bud.
Adam Nutter. Let's do that.
Come listen to the Cult of Us podcast. That's our promo.
Adam Nutter.
A Drop Tent Media Network podcast. Go to droptent.com or search Cult of Us podcast on your favorite podcast platform.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.